different person. I mean, for the woman, for you, I mean, if you're going to be a teen mom, I mean, it makes you totally different. Like I said, all my friends, they don't have nothing to do with me. None of them. So, I mean, and then a guy, you know, it just is so stressful. I mean, you're trying to make everything work, and you're trying to make it work for your baby's sake, and then it's hard. I don't know how to put it up in words. It's difficult to do. And like I said, more power to all the dads like that out there that stuck by their girlfriend's side, but it's really hard to do. I mean, you look at the person and you think, you took away my life. You did it. You know, you look at them and think that. I mean, it's not really their fault, because, I mean, it's your fault too, but that's what you think. That's what I thought for the longest time. I mean, I know that it takes two people to make a baby, but, you know, just think, if you would have never spoke to them ever, if you would have never believed what they said, or you would have never had sex with them, then it would never happen. You'd still be able to live life carefree. So you'd be able to do everything and anything that you've ever wanted to do. And I'm so uncomfortable. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Okay. Maybe now I'm a little bit more comfortable. I don't know how to put this to where you guys will understand it. I didn't know that having a baby would change my life this much. I mean, I wouldn't change being a mother for anything in the world, but there are ways to prevent it, you know, because, I mean, every waking minute of the day, Isabella is on my mind, and if you're selfish, and if you're not going to put your baby first, and if you're not ready to do that, you know, then don't try to get pregnant. And if you accidentally do, and you weren't trying to, you were using protection, you know, give it up for adoption. I don't personally believe in abortions, but, you know, there's certain, well, okay, let me rephrase that. Well, first, let me start off by saying that's everybody's personal opinion. If you believe in abortions, go right on ahead, you know. I believe in abortions to an extent. I don't think that abortion should be used as a form of birth control. Like, you go out to a party and you have sex with a bunch of random guys and you get pregnant and you just were like, okay, well, I don't want this baby. But if you got raped, or you were repeatedly raped by your stepdad, or, you know, you got raped or something horrible like that happened to you, and you wanted to abort your baby, then that's totally okay. And it's everybody's personal choice, but if you get pregnant and you really don't, you know you're not going to be able to take care of your baby, and you know that you're not going to be a mother, you don't want to be a mother, just look at adoption. Like, as soon as you go to your first your OBGYN appointment, I can't say that word, go to your OBGYN, just tell them, I really want to give my baby up for adoption to a really good home, could you help me out? And they will help you out. They will find you an adoption agency, and you can meet with the parents. If you want to have an open adoption, that's cool, but if you want to have a closed adoption where you can just say bye to your baby and that's it, I mean, it's something really hard that you would have to do, but I mean, it's worth it if you all think about it. If you choose to be a mother and you know that it's not going to work out, like you know you can't support your baby and you know you can't do all this stuff like that, giving your baby up for adoption is giving them a chance to have a life. And, you know, it'll hurt. I'm not saying that it wouldn't, but it's better in all actuality. And you can find a good birth parent. I mean, you can find some good adoptive parents. And, you know, they'll be able to tell you, you know, that they've got your back. And so you'll be able to do it. And if you don't want to do it at the last minute, then just say, I don't want to do it, and that's the end of it. That's it. I'm trying to think of what else to say. Oh, what you see on TV, Teen Mom's pretty real, but what you see on TV about what it is to be a mother is not true. So I don't think that being a mother to a baby girl, like I am, is just going to be about dressing her up in little cute dresses and hair bows, because it's not. It's not. I mean, it's real life. You have to bathe them and feed them and wipe their nose and get spit up all the time and get drooled on all the time, get pooped on, you get poop in your fingernails, you get peed on. I've gotten peed on where it looked like I peed on myself. I was changing a diaper and a pee shot it at me and looked like I peed myself. it's not a fairy tale. You have to do all that stuff. You can't just be like, okay, well, let me just dress you up in this cute dress and this hair bow. Oh, but your diaper's about to explode, so let me just save that for later. You can't do that. And I don't know how it is for a little boy, because I have a little girl, but it's not playing with toys. It's not anything like that. I mean, you have a physical and a mental and emotional responsibility for your kid, and you can't just sit there and, you know, treat them like baby dolls, because they're not. They have to be properly taken care of. And I'm still learning. I have a lot of questions about babies. I ask my mom all the time, and my mom's like my go-to advisor. So, you know, without her, I wouldn't have anything. And also, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, think about if your mom is going to be there to support you, or your dad, or whoever you live with, or your boyfriend's parents. What if you get pregnant and your mom or dad kicks you out? They say, okay, you want to be grown? Go live out on the streets. Get your stuff and leave. What are you going to do? How are you going to raise a baby on the streets? What if you say, okay, I'll leave. My boyfriend's got my back. Okay, you go to your boyfriend's house. His parents don't want you neither. Where are you going to go? To a homeless shelter? Think about that. I'm so grateful that my mom did not kick me out. My mom got pregnant with me whenever she was 17. She had me whenever she was 18. Whenever she came home and told my grandma that she was pregnant, my grandma kicked her out. I'm so glad that my mom did not kick me out, because without her, I mean, I'd have nothing. I'd have no place to go. You know, Isabella's dad left. I would have nothing. I mean, if my mom would have kicked me out, I don't think that I would have been able to make it through my whole pregnancy. I just don't. You know, so think about that. Would you have a place to go? Do you have a safe environment to raise your baby in? Is there going to be stuff around your baby that you don't want stuff to be around? Like, say your parents are drug addicts, and you think, well, if I get pregnant, I can get out of this. No, that's not going to happen. You're going to bring your baby into a house with a bunch of drug addicts, and they're going to be doing drugs around your baby, and that's not safe. Say you leave your baby up in its crib and you go to pee because you really have to pee. You come back in there and your drug addict family members are harming your baby. What are you going to do? I mean, you can be like, oh my God, and call 911, but then it's going to look bad on your part. So Child Protective Services will be at your front door right then and there. You know, just think about, if you're pregnant, think about your child's well-being way before you think about yours. And if you're wanting to become pregnant, like I said, think about everything I've said in this video. Because, I mean, it's not a joke. It's not something you can just say, okay, well, I'm going to be a mom today and not a mom tomorrow, and be a mom today and not a mom tomorrow. You can't do that. You have to be a mom full-time. So, and people that are pregnant, you know, just, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I promise. There is. It may not seem like it, but there is. The 9 months are definitely worth it. Labor is rough. I'll tell you, labor is very rough. Your postpartum recovery is rough, but being able to hold your baby up in your arms and just look at how beautiful or how handsome they are and say, I carried this. I am the one who made this. I nurtured this. I took care of this, and just look at them and say, well done. You did a good job. You know, it'll all be worth it. I had the worst pregnancy that I can ever think of. My pregnancy was horrible. Morning sickness. I had got this rash called PUP, P-U-P-P-P. It was horrible. My feet hurt. My back hurt. I have constant headaches. I didn't feel good ever. But I gained 70 pounds. I used to be real skinny. But now, I'm not fat, but I'm putting on a little bit of weight. And, you know, it's just something moms have to do. You know, just think about the sacrifices you'll have to make. If you're thinking about getting pregnant, make a pro and con list. Just say, well, if I get pregnant, I'll have to give up this. If I get pregnant, I won't have to give up this. And also, if you like to drink and you like to smoke and you like to take pain pills or do any kind of drug, don't get pregnant. Just don't. Unless you're willing to give up that stuff for the rest of your life, do not do that. It'll make, during your pregnancy, it'll hurt your baby, like, big time. It can make them have, I can't even think the words. It'll mess them up, like, they'll have disorders and, yeah, they'll have bad stuff. I can't think of the words right now, but you know what I mean. Like, they'll be messed up. And if you do it once after they're born, if you're breastfeeding, that's a big no-no. You don't want to do that. Anything you do is transfer to them. But if you don't breastfeed, do you want your baby to grow up knowing that their mother has been addicted to drugs their whole life and would rather do drugs and take care of them? I wouldn't want that. Okay.